guys, welcome back. Okay, today I have a subscriber help video, but this is going to help a lot of people, and I have a really nice color palette. So here's the backstory on this video. I got an email from Mickey. So Mickey wrote to me and she needed help with something. Her mother had a really beautiful hair color and she just wanted to duplicate this hair color, but she was a little bit off. Well, not really a little bit, she was a lot off. The good thing about it is she can redo this picture. She's made copies, good girl. She printed it out on her own paper. So here we have Mickey's first picture. And this is the one she originally sent to me. She wanted the color of bone and she wanted strawberry blonde hair. And as you can see from the picture, she's way off in her color choices. I have much better color choices. Her braids are flat and we could fix that also. As soon as I got that first base color, which happens to be terracotta. So the dark colors, let me show you and show you why these colors are definitely the colors. I started off with terracotta, and that is the dark in the hair. The strawberry blonde or the reddish in the hair came from two colors, and it was pumpkin orange. When you mix the pumpkin orange with areas of the terracotta, you get a beautiful strawberry blonde. Now you want to get some sort of highlight color going in there, and the perfect color happened to have been cream. Cream goes right into the terracotta and will blonde it up, and it blends beautifully into the pumpkin. So as you can see right now, just by looking at the tiny area that I did, those are the colors of that hair. There's one other color, and I'm going to keep this very simple because, like, if I was doing this hair and really going at it, I may add another couple of colors, but really, this combination will give you that hair. So you don't sometimes have to work with 1,000 different colors. I have the same picture. So it's by Mariola Budek. Before we get to the demo, I just wanted to take a minute and I wanted to thank my sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 15,000 classes in design, technology, art, cartooning, hand lettering, and more, with more being added each and every day. I've been a sponsor for Skillshare for several months now, and I use it all the time. On Skillshare, you get expert instructors that bring you their best ideas, and you can have it for 2 months for free. All you have to do is click the link and watch as many classes as you want. You will learn something. This month, I was concentrating on hand lettering and calligraphy, in addition to the beginning of the month when I was doing Inktober. I found an instructor, Bryn Chernoff, and she's from the Paper Finger Calligraphy and Hand Lettering class. She's got this really excellent 10-day course that you commit to, and I did that, and already my hand lettering has gotten exponentially better. She's a fantastic instructor. Her class is very clear, and she really knows how to uplift people and keep them motivated. So that's the class I do recommend for you. So now on to the demo. I'm going to start out with my mid-tone color. Now, out of all these colors, I'm using the terracotta for the dark. My mid-tone is going to be the pumpkin orange, and my highlight color is going to be the cream. I'm going to start out with my mid-tone color. Now, everybody has their own way of doing it. Some people start out with the dark, some people start out with the lights. Right now, I want to keep it mid-tone. And by keeping it mid-tone, I can now adjust up and down where my darks and lights are. Now, fortunately, the reference picture that she sent to me and her texture hair are practically the same. So I have a really good reference on doing this. In my darker areas, now I'm going to put down some pumpkin orange into my dark areas. I already know that I'm going to have other color in there. And it's not only going to be the pumpkin orange, but I want an orange base. And I can tell you now, this hurts. And I probably won't be able to put many, many layers on here. So I'm going to just keep this light. I'm just going over where my darkened areas are. Now, when a hair curls, you're going to go to the top of that curl, and that's going to be your highlight area. See, I'm leaving it open. So my darker color is here. My darker color is going to be in where the hair is starting to go underneath. Even though this is mid-tone, this is bottom layer, I'm leaving this open. I'm not worrying about it. And now I'm going to get some highlights in there, and I'm going to just go over where my dark areas are going to be. So I'm going to get all in here. Part of the hair before putting on the last final details is the braid. Now, if you look on Mickey's picture, the braid was done very flat, one color, and the color was so far off that it didn't look natural. It looked like somebody stuck it on the person's head like it was a piece of dyed rope. Braids are probably the easiest things to do, and probably the first things that you guys should learn to do with hair. I'm going to start out with my Crimson Lake because I'm going to make it slightly darker than the rest of her hair. Just because that's the way Mickey seems to want it. Now, for each tuft of braid, it's going to just go a fade from dark to light to dark again. Very simple. But there has to be that highlight in it, or it'll be completely flat. So I'm still using the same colors that I used before. but just in a different order and more emphasis on the darker red instead of the emphasis being on the orange. Okay, I got a little bit of crimson in there. Now I'm going to add in my orange to blend it. I'll do this one before I put it on hyperlapse. Then I'm going to get out my dark brown. And my dark brown is going to go into the way corners. And then I'm going to highlight the center with some cream. Just like that. Now, you don't want a stark line, and you can do that with pencil. You just brush a darker pencil into the center of the highlight, and it breaks it up. For the last part of this, and this is kind of important, I've switched over now to my Polychromos because Prismacolor is not the greatest to doing hair detail. It just doesn't, it's just too creamy. And when you want real detail, you want a harder pencil. Now, if you have anything, even Arteza is harder than Prismacolor and should get shading onto this. I'm not worried about so much the individual hairs right now. I want to shade where the shade goes, whether or not hair is there or not. So this is covering this. It would naturally have a shade. It also is being covered by the ears. So you want to go in and put that shade. Because I did not use black earlier, black will do the trick. Gray is too light to go with dark brown. So there's really nowhere else for you to go except for the black. And if you haven't used black before, now it's the time that makes it pop. And that's the magic of using black last. And you want to go in. This is on top of this. So I really want a defined line here and some shade. So it looks like it's popping off the picture. Down behind the ears, you would shade. Down here, this is covering this. it would have a natural shadow on it. So all down here, I'm going to put it in. And see, this really juts away from the face. So it wouldn't be void of light, but it would definitely be darker where you'd have a little trouble seeing the actual color in the hair, especially like if you're doing like a strawberry blonde or an autumn, you would really see a shadow on the head. And a lot of people skip this step, but it's really like one of the most important things you can do. And like underneath here, now your Polychromos comps are really easy. You could do the whole head in the Polychromos. And I've got out the comps. This is dark umber, cream, black, and this is sanguine, Potel sanguine, pumpkin orange. But really at this point, the only thing that's going to work is the black. This is all dark because the hat, you wouldn't see the color hair. And you wouldn't see the individual strands either. So it just takes time. I think I'm shouting into the microphone. See, right here, it's light. There's no way that would be light. So even if you're tempted to leave it light, don't. Do it very mechanically. Just think what would be. What would you see? Where would the light naturally hit? And where would the light be gone? And as you put in the dark, your lights are going to become lighter. Now you can also put in a few individual hairs. The more you work on it, the better. This hair in the picture is very clumpy. Just the way it was drawn. So it's going to have a tendency to make it look not silky, but kind of greasy if it's all clumped. Okay, and you can lighten up some of the highlights. You could work on these for like hours, the end. It's like it never ends. All right, that's the most that I could tell you to do. And I will come back with the finished picture when I'm done with all the details. So this was just the hair, and I'm pretty much done with it now as far as the hair goes. The perfect skin tone for her would be the skin tone I just did in my last video. I'll leave a card up in the top so that you can find it in case you don't see it. Also, she would look great with green eyes, glowing green eyes. And let's see, and the bone. I did a tutorial on the bone. I will also leave a link to that. In fact, I'll leave links to them in the description box so you could find it easily. So that should take care of that. And all you have to do is the background. I recommend a dark background, the stippled background would look perfect with this because it'll bring in some light. I see light around her face, so you can keep the hair and the face popping, and it blending off into like a smoky gray. Even the smoky gray background that I did with her, that I did a couple of videos back, would look great with this. So I hope this. The last thing I wanted to show you was a picture done by Von, or Cream in the Coffee, my Mr. Coffee. And this is I forgot the name of the book, but this is a grayscale. And he had sent this to me a couple of weeks ago. And it had nothing to do with the strawberry blonde I was going to do, but it just so happened that he did one that was almost the same color. We probably used the same pencils, but he did a more emphasis on the red, where I did a more emphasis on the blonde. But I just wanted to show you, this is an excellent picture, and I love the look of it. I love the skin tone he used on it, the yellow, sepia almost, and the makeup where it just came out so stark. I thought people would really enjoy looking at it. Great job on this. And I see you guys in my next video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell for all notifications. For another video just like this one, I recommend this. And I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Keep on coloring.